The term apocalypse means revelation. In this sense, the planet's transition forms part of the revelations offered to humanity. The shift in polarity from masculine to feminine is also revelatory in nature. When the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse are mentioned, Cosmosophy, in its revelatory capacity, reveals that these Four Horsemen are the four elements utilised cosmically by the Law of Purification: air, water, earth and fire, liberating their potential in an unprecedented manner. As for the number of the beast, 666, it represents the dominion of the astral forces over human consciousness, and the three levels of the personality, as well as over the three-dimensional and karmic context of the planetary surface. The astral emotional plane is the sixth level, counting downwards from the divine core. 666 represents astral hegemony over the three levels: etheric, physical, astral and mental. While the Apocalypse, written by John, is of a genuinely revelatory nature, much of its content is symbolic. Each and every piece of information about the planetary transition is apocalyptic and complementary to what is found in the New Testament.
The consciousness and the cosmos. A path to one's own inner cosmos. Podcast offered by the Uksim Planetary Service Centre. The consciousness and the cosmos. A path to one's own inner cosmos. A collection of quotes featuring insightful recordings of Daniel Gagliardo's teachings, the founder and instructor of Cosmosophy line Uksim. Recorded during Cosmosophy gatherings held across Europe and in the serene landscapes of Uksim, Argentina. In meetings with Daniel Gagliardo, stimuli and concepts from the inner life are made available to the participants. The different themes arise from questions provided by those attendees, thus allowing for a valuable dynamic of communication and instruction. The hidden world government plays a significant role in the planetary transition. The activities it undertakes, as well as the selfish and materialistic goals it pursues, serve to strengthen the evolutive forces within the psychic layer. Its influence is used to create the karmic contingencies that constitute the trials. It acts as a powerful polarizing force at junctures when humanity is undergoing trials, functioning as the antithesis to the impulses of liberation arising from the inner levels of the being. The evolutive or dissuasive forces are its most powerful tool, enhancing its capacity to wield black magic. The leadership of the New World Order is generally composed of individuals who are not destined for evacuation and rescue. Most of them have failed to meet the necessary conditions for such rescue. As a result, These individuals will be sent to more primitive karmic realms once the transition on Earth is complete. This will allow them to revisit aspects of instruction and evolution that currently reject. Meanwhile, the elite with this occult power aimed to reach and conquer other planets or solar systems. However, the cosmic hierarchies will not allow such invasiveness, preventing any attempt that could disrupt interplanetary and intersystemic equilibrium. If humanity had chosen the path offered by the light, it would have established contact with other planets thousands of years ago under conditions of harmony and equilibrium. Powerful nations, like the hidden governments to which they are subservient, play a negative role. Their involvement on a global scale serves to hasten the transition's closure, generating inequality, poverty, wars, persecution, and false pandemics, while seeking to weaken human consciousness through various doctrines, political, religious, cultural, technological, and extractive. Governments of various nations refuse to publicly acknowledge the existence and activity of extraterrestrial. The main reason for this lies in a potential risk of losing power over their populations. The strategy essentially has two strands. The first is political in nature, and the second, though no less important, is religious. Religious leaders pursuing governments not to recognize or disclose the reality of extraterrestrial life. For example, the Catholic Church maintains in its doctrinal foundations that the entire cosmos is devoid of life. According to this belief, the Creator fulfilled his potential by creating human beings on Earth and placing all the kingdoms of nature under their stewardship so that they might govern over them. Billions of people on Earth would feel politically and religiously deceived if the existence of the extraterrestrial life were now officially recognized. Yet, it is known from thousands of pieces of evidence and testimonies that this is an undeniable aspect of our planet's reality. The Mercosur Agreement, like all international trade agreements, will serve to benefit some and disadvantage others. Every agreement contains partial and preferential terms. The global economy is in a state of irreversible imbalance, meaning that every agreement, from the moment it is signed, is destined in short or medium term to fail or be amended under political or corporate pressure. For this reason, the being must now strive to attain certain conditions and qualities that will enable the being to undergo the experience indicated by the instruction. The being must not allow the external conditions of reality to prevent the being from remaining in equilibrium and harmony. In this way, by progressing through inner attunement and alignment, the being will be able to strengthen and experience that which the instruction reveals. There is an unspecific number of awakened beings who incarnated with the inner intention of serving the evolutionary plan during the planetary transition. Every one of them must face the interference fueled by the involutive forces. Owing to the great congestion of the psychic layer, most of these individuals are unable to fulfill this intention adequately. Obstacles and threatening circumstances severely limit their ability to perform their task, to undertake their task. Much of what they are unable to carry out effectively is silently taken on by the hierarchies. Transcending the law of material karma is one of the symbols of the rescue. The rescue is the elevation of consciousness. This elevation speaks to us of the fulfillment of integral stages of individual's character, which are representatively cells that conform to a greater plan. A pioneer in consciousness is one that offers itself to express the unknown, that which may not even have the capacity to rationalize it. The pioneer is one who works with the non-potential. He is the one who discovers that, although unfathomable, the potential and he conform and come from the indivisible essence. The pioneer is an oasis in matter. Through him, the crystalline sight of the inner reality fecundates the desert of human consciousness. The occult laws, non-existent for the majority, fluidly govern the world where he carries out his service. Where he implants himself, the new earth emerges under his feet. Where he serves, the new attitude flourishes. Where he looks, he sees only the symbols of the new age. As we expand our capacity to transcend the unreal and glimpse another format of existence, we demonstrate the utilization of that hidden potential. Somehow, we become pioneers. We begin to perceive what remains hidden or distant to others. The parameters that serve as a reference for our consciousness are situated in another strip of reality. The current thing ceases to be related to the speculative capacity of our mind and is pointed out to us by the inner life through the new vortices it uses. Discernment becomes a fluid exercise of attention, genuine and straightforward attention to the impulses of the right consciousness. The potential to develop will manifest itself as we take care and extend these impulses. They commune with the reality of the unique. Having distanced ourselves from it does not mean that it does not embrace and govern us. Although certain achievements may seem distant and merely theoretical, no consciousness will be able to arrive at certain stage of the path without first participating in what they represent and transforming them into practical energy. As we're beginning to perceive, for this to be achieved is immense. There is no element which, in one way or another, cannot be used by the laws of symbolize such assistance. Becoming a pilgrim, he knows he belongs nowhere. He flows in a cycle of existence, sustaining his ceremonial. The light can now present itself more intensely to the pilgrim. A percentage of the individuals that inhabit the surface of this planet reaches that shift in the path. The footprints left by this and other pilgrims operate as symbols of what they will once go through. The interterrestrial and extraterrestrial civilizations accompany the steps of the pilgrim. The light they access is the same that he discovers in his interior. Thus, the consciousness of the pilgrim is immersed in a revelation of a unique life that encompasses everything.